Hello, and today I'm going to show you how you can crochet this strapless flower top with the opening. And if you don't want to have the opening, I can show you how you can make a flower top with flowers all over it. So this is what the other one looks like on. At first when I made it, I just had the purple and white flowers, and then I'm like, there's too much open space. So then I added the pink ones. So now I don't know if it's too much. Comment, let me know if you think it's too much. But you can decide whichever one you want to make. I'm going to make for this one, I'm going to use this hot pink yarn, neon yarn actually, and I'm going to do it with the opening, but instead of just having the 3 flowers here, I'm going to have them like all around like this one. So I'm going to combine the two together. I'm using this Karen Simply Soft yarn with the 4.5mm hook. You're actually supposed to use a 5mm hook with this, but I'm just going to use the 4.5. And you can get like these hooks that come in this case and this little pack with stitch markers and yarn needles in the description. So you can choose how many flowers you want to do, but in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this shirt right here. So this is how I'm going to be placing the flowers, and that's what I'll be showing you in the video. But I'll also show you how you can put the flowers on the top part, how it is in the shirt that I'm wearing in the beginning. So first you're going to make a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 2. Then go into that second chain from the hook and do a single crochet. So to make a single crochet, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through both. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work and go back into that stitch again and make another single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work, make a single crochet, chain 1, and you're just going to keep doing this until you get to the length that fits you. When you get to a length that fits around your chest. So now what we're going to do is chain 1, turn your work, and just insert your hook. Don't do a single crochet. Then you want to make sure that this is lined up when you connect it. Okay, that should be good. Then you're going to just insert your hook into the first hole on this side, and then slip stitch together, yarn over, pull through everything. So after you connect it, before moving on to the next step, you always just want to try it on and make sure it fits you, because you might try it on and be like, this is too tight or this is too loose. For reference, this is how tight mine is on me. It doesn't need to be super tight because I'll show you how to add the drawstring to tighten it. So now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do a double crochet around the whole thing in all the holes. So you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through that 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to keep doing this all the way till the end, and then we'll slip stitch back into the very first one that we did to connect it. So when you get to the end, you're just going to want to slip stitch back into the very first double crochet that we did. So I'll finish the last one, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first double crochet here, and then we're just going to chain 2 and start doing double crochet all the way around, but don't do the whole thing. I'll show you where to put the stitch markers to know when to stop. So since we want to have this opening, you don't want to double crochet all the way around. So try on what you have so far and then place your stitch markers where you want to have the opening. So just place them in the position that I'm doing them right here in this video. So after you get to your stitch marker, you can take it out and do your last double crochet. Then we're going to chain 2 and turn our work and double crochet all the way back around till we get back to our first stitch marker, or where we started making the opening. So after you do your last double crochet, we're going to make a chain. And so how I did the chain was I counted how many stitches it was around, like for the opening, and then I just added 8 chains to it, because if you just do the same number, it's going to be too tight. So just count how many it is and then add 8, and then also try it on to make sure that it fits right. So after you make your chain, you're going to connect it with a slip stitch into the first stitch on the other side. Then we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and go back into all the stitches of the chain and do a double crochet. I like to turn our work and start this way. That way we could try it on and see if it fits. And if it's either too tight or too loose, then when we start over, we won't have to be starting over the whole thing, as opposed to if we just went around the whole thing instead of turning it like we just did here. So if you want to make a shirt like this and only have the flowers on the top, I would advise doing this part in half double crochet instead of double crochet like we did this one. The reason you do the double crochet is so that you have space to do the flower, but if you don't want to put them down here, I would advise doing the half double crochet so that your stitches are tighter and it's not going to be as see-through as this one is. So when you make it, it's going to start out to be the same steps as this is going to be the same thing, but then when you get to making the chain and then when you go around the whole thing, then that's when you start to do the half double crochet instead of double crochet like on this one. So I'll show you how to do a half double crochet. So chain 2, and then you just yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3. So it's like kind of being in the middle of a single and a double crochet. So when you get to the end, you're just going to slip stitch back into the first stitch to connect it. Then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet around the whole thing, so you don't need to worry about your stitch markers anymore. And then it's basically just going to be double crocheting all the way till the end until you get to the length that you want. But if you just want the flowers on the very first part, then just do half double crochet around the whole thing until you get to the length that you want. So for reference, this is what mine looks like so far. On half of it, I have 2 sets of double crochet, but on the other side, it's just the 1 round. So this is what yours should be looking like. So this shirt is obviously just 1 color, but for reference, if you wanted to do a pattern like this, each color is 2 rows of half double crochet. So if you're doing double crochet, maybe then you only would need to do 1 row and it would look like this. But that's what I did here, 2 rows of the orange, 2 rows of the yellow. And then so if you want to change colors, you just would go into your last stitch, slip stitch into that first stitch, pull your work through as a chain. Obviously cut off your yarn. I already did this, but I wanted to show you guys again since I wasn't changing colors. But okay, so get your new yarn, make a slip knot. You just slip stitch into where you cut off your yarn, chain 2, and then either make a double crochet or half double crochet, whatever it is that you're doing, all the way around. So every time you get back around, you're just going to slip stitch into the first double crochet from the round before you start continuing by chaining 2 and then just doing double crochet all the way around again. So depending on your body type, when you get to the point past your boobs, you might want to start to decrease your stitches so that it can start to get tighter around your stomach. So I'll show you how you can do that. So first we're going to just chain 2 and do 5 regular double crochets in a row. So then to decrease it, you yarn over, pull through, and then in the next one, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through both. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through both. So it's like you're not completing the full stitch because of the fact that you're going to be putting 2 stitches into 1 stitch, and that's how you can decrease it. And so the pattern's just going to be 5 regular double crochets, then 1 decrease, then 5 regular ones, and then 1 decrease all the way until the end. So what I did is I did 2 rounds of 5 double crochets in a row and then 1 decrease. And then for the 3rd row, I'm going to do 10 regular double crochets in a row and then a decrease. So this is going to be personal preference and how your body is. So you might need to do trial and error to see like what the best ratio of like regular double crochet to decrease is. But this is what I did. So this is what it should be looking like now. So now it's time to add the flowers. So to add the flowers, I like to put one over the nipples first, and then you can kind of put them wherever you want. So get your stitch markers and place them on your body where you want to put the flowers so you know where to put them. So you'll notice that the inside and the outside of your shirt will look different. So pick which side you want to use. When I did this, I liked the inside of it better, so I'm going to turn mine inside out and actually re-put my stitch markers in. You also want to make sure that the 2 places you put your stitch markers in are lined up and on the same row. So now we're going to make a slip knot and attach this to your yarn before taking out your stitch marker. So slip stitch the yarn into that double crochet. So now we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to put 2 double crochets inside of the double crochet hole. Chain 2 again, and then make a slip stitch back into that double crochet. Chain 2, make 2 more double crochets into that double crochet. Chain 2 again, and slip stitch back into it. That's making a petal, so now we have 2 petals so far, and you want to make 3. So chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then slip stitch back into it again. So to make the other half of the flower, you're going to pick one of the double crochets next to it and slip stitch into it. Then you're going to chain 2 and put 2 double crochets inside of that double crochet. So it's going to just be the same steps as before. So now we're going to chain 2 and slip stitch back into it. We're going to chain 2 again. Make 2 double crochets. Chain 2, slip stitch back into it. Chain 2 again. Put 2 more double crochets in there. Chain 2 and slip stitch back into it. Then you can chain 2 and cut off part of your work, and then you're going to pull that yarn through there to close it up. So now you're done with the flower. So what I like to do is take those 2 strings and tie it up, and this is going to bring the petals closer together. I'm going to triple knot this, and then we want to bring those strings into the inside of our shirt. So you just kind of pull it through one of the holes there, and then we could pull it through one more time in the back. Grab a hole and then just pull the strings through. It might also be a good idea to tie it up in a knot again there to really secure it and make sure that it stays on the inside. So I don't have that on video, but I think that that's what I'm gonna do. So this is what it should be looking like so far. You could leave it like this, or you could add more flowers. I'll probably add some more flowers in there. I just like to do the ones that cover your nipples, so you just get that out of the way, so you're not worried about that, because sometimes with the double crochet you might be able to see them a bit. So I think I figured out a good way how to place the flowers, so I'm going to show you how to do the pink ones there, because the first ones I did were the purple ones and I think they're too close together. So if you want your flowers to be close together like this, you're going to want to go up 3 rows from the first flower that we did, and then we're going to have them be 4 rows apart. So after you go up 3 rows, then you're going to go over to the 5th double crochet, and then you're going to make your flower. So if you want them to be further apart like this, you're going to go up 4 rows from your first flower, and then these are going to be 6 double crochets apart. So go up 4 rows and then go over to the 6th double crochet, and then that's when you're going to start making your flower. Don't get discouraged if you don't like the placement and you have to start over. I obviously had to start over, but it's going to be okay. So this is what it should be looking like so far. Now we're going to place 2 more flowers onto the shirt. So to place the middle flower, what you want to do is find the 2 double crochets that are in the middle of these 2 flowers up here. If you don't have it where it's perfectly even and you can't get 2 middle double crochets, that's okay. Mine wasn't exactly lined up either, but put it in the middle as best as you can. And then you want to go 1 row above where you did the nipple covering flowers and place it there. So this is what it should be looking like so far. Now we're going to place 2 more flowers at the bottom. So for the placement of these next 2 flowers, what you want to do is take that middle flower and go 6 rows down. And then these 2 flowers are going to be 6 double crochets apart from each other. So this is what it will look like so far. Now let's add 2 more flowers at the bottom here. So for the placement of these next flowers, you want to take the flower that we did for the nipple cover, and you want to go 6 double crochets over and 3 rows down and place it there. And then this is what it should be looking like. If you really wanted to, you could throw some other flowers on there. You could even cover up the back with flowers as well. So if you want to make the flowers on the top, I'll tell you how you should place them. So first you want to find the 2 middle double crochets that are in the middle of where you did your opening, because you have to remember when you make the flower, you're using 2 double crochets to do this. So find the middle piece of your work and make that first flower. And then what I did was I had it be 4 double crochets apart. So after you make your flower, you can look and see how many double crochets are like the petals laying on top of. So for mine, it's like 2. And then I wanted to have 2 double crochets in between them. So that's why I counted to 4. And then on the 5th one, I started my flower. So how many flowers you do is up to you. This shirt may or may not be too many flowers. I don't even think it's too many flowers. I think that some of them are just closer together. And with this, those hot pink and then the white ones are a little bit smaller yarn than the purple ones. That's why they look smaller. But when you're doing this, it might look like they're really close together. That's why you need to try on your shirt a bunch of times, because when you try on the shirt, they might kind of stretch out and be further apart. So what I would do is make your first flower and then see how much double crochets the petals are covering, because it will be different depending on what size yarn you're using. And then you can kind of go from there and figure out how you want to place them. I think that the placement of the shirt that we just made was good. When I made this shirt, I didn't really do any calculations, so it was kind of all over the place, but I still think it came out cute. So now we're going to add the drawstring at the top of our shirt so that we can tighten it. So first you want to make a slip knot and then find the middle of your shirt, because we're going to put the string in the middle so that when we tie it, it's like in the middle on our back instead of off to the side. So I'm going to put the middle here, and then we're just going to slip stitch to connect it, and then chain 1, and you're just going to single crochet all the way to the end in all the holes, and then when you get to the end, just slip stitch back into your first single crochet to connect it. So to make a single crochet, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through both. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through both. So I'm getting to the end here, so I'm going to do 1 more single crochet, And then I am just going to slip stitch into that very first stitch, make a chain before I cut off my yarn, and then just pull it through, and then that's how you tighten it. I'm going to tie these two strings together, and then I'm going to bring them into the back of my work so that we can't see them. So you just go into that hole underneath it and then pull the strings through. And you could bring it down a little bit more even and go into the hole under that. And then pull them through. So now nobody would be able to see the strings. So now it's time to whip out your yarn needle. And I like to just tie a knot here so that the yarn doesn't get away from you. And then we're just going to weave the yarn needle back and forth, kind of like a zigzag, throughout all of the stitches of the single crochet that we just did. And so you can get like 10 stitches on the yarn needle before having to pull it through. So this is how you are going to be doing the zigzag motion. It's like back and forth. So let's see how many stitches I could get on here before I have to pull it through. Okay, now I'm pulling it through. So you're just going to do that all the way until you get back around to the beginning. So the only thing is, when you get to the end, you just want to make sure that where you end, the yarn is also sticking out. That way you'll be able to tie it. So you don't want to have like one sticking out on the outside and one on the inside. So if it doesn't work out where you can get them both on the end, just skip one of them so that you'll be able to do it. So now get rid of your yarn needle and make a slip knot. And now we're going to chain 40. Pretty sure I did 40, but like make a chain as long as it takes for you to think that you would be able to tie this up into a bow. So for me, I did about 40 chains. So when you get to the length that's long enough, just stop, open up the hole, and pull through your chain, and then that will make it be tied up. Then you just kind of want to move your shirt around so that you can get it so that the chain is right up against the shirt and you don't have like any regular yarn string hanging down. So that's what I'm doing here, and now I got it at the end. So to do the other side, you kind of want to wrap your yarn around to make a knot and try to get this as close as possible to the beginning of your shirt. If you have a little bit of string hanging down, it's okay. But then we're just going to start our chain and again make 40 chains or however long you think it takes to make a bow. So then when you're done with that, I like to tie this up 3 times just to really secure it. So do this on both sides. And this will also help you to like get rid of that string that's at the bottom. So I'm going to tie this one up also, triple knot it. So even with doing the decreasing that I showed you how to do, you still might be like, this isn't tight enough, oh my god. What you can do, and this is what I did last night, was you can add that drawstring that I showed you how to do on the top. You can do the same thing at the bottom, so you can tighten it at the bottom and make it tighter. The only thing about this is then you're going to have like 2 ties in the back, but if you don't have a problem with that, then it should be good. And the back's none of my business, so that's what I'm going to do. So if you wanted to add a shell stitch at the bottom of your shirt, you could look at my other tutorial on how to do that. And I think I'm going to make a tutorial on how you could turn this into a dress. But I'm not going to do the shell stitch on these shirts here. So now you know how to make these strapless flower crochet tops. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment if you found this video helpful for you. And comment any other videos you want to hear me making. Thanks. Bye.